What's up, boys? Taking a look at some more player props today over on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, my favorite website to go ahead and do my player props. So if you guys aren't already on PrizePicks, I highly recommend joining. Use code DOMG when you guys do sign up to match your first deposit 100% up to $100. Got a bunch of promos going on. Tomorrow we have Taco Tuesday discounts. Usually a discount a couple players, like if Darius Garland was playing or something, he's usually at like 20.5 points. They'll probably drop down to like 16.5. They do like 2 or 3 of those each Taco Tuesday. It's amazing. But yeah, just one of many reasons you guys should be joining PrizePicks. But yeah, definitely use code DOMG when you guys do go ahead and sign up. But we got 5 different ones to talk about today. I'm not going to lie, this slate is one of my least favorites, I think, all season. I have found very, very minimum value on PrizePicks today. Or it's not just PrizePicks, but the slate entirely. I mean, everywhere. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to do our best today, but we'll see how this one goes. Yesterday on the Patreon was not the greatest of days. It was pretty bad, I think, for everyone yesterday because there were so many games that were supposed to be really close, like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point spreads. They ended up being 20-point blowouts. It was insane yesterday. A lot of people got screwed over. We got out minimally scathed, if that makes sense. So we were 1-3 on power plays yesterday, so we barely took a loss. It was like 4-3 on the individual props. Not the greatest of days. We were still profit on the year for sure. But yeah, yesterday not the greatest day, but I'm glad it could have been a lot worse yesterday for sure, because a lot of things did not go some people's way yesterday. So let me know how yesterday went for you guys. I know NFL was really good yesterday, and NBA was pretty bad. So let's go though and talk about some player props today. So let's go and talk about the first one here. But PrizePicks link, Patreon link in the description, also free Discord link. Patreon is $10 a month. I don't recommend joining now, because you're only going to get it for the next 7 days here, so the end of the January 1st, and then you have to pay again on February 1st. So if you guys want it for 7 days, you can pay that $10, but I don't really recommend that. I recommend waiting until February 1st. You guys can pay then, and then get it for the rest of February, if that makes sense. So, because it charges you on the 1st of each month, so, and when you guys sign up at first, so. Okay, let's go and talk about these, though. Got all the announcements out of the way. Let's talk about one right off the bat here. Let's talk about Herbert Jones. So Herbert Jones here is at 11.5 points here. So past couple of games, he's at 13.6 in his last 5 games. He's at 11, 16, 13, 14, and 14 in his last 5 games. Going against Indiana today. So at 8-10 tonight. So I don't know why it says 5-10. My computer's like 3 hours behind for whatever reason, but I can't figure out how to fix it. But Herbert Jones here, power forward going against the Indiana Pacers. It's a 3-point spread. Who knows? This maybe we'll end up in a 20-point blowout. You never know. 215 and over under. But power forward going against the Pacers here. Let's take a look at this game here. So this one's really, really interesting. So going against the Pacers here, as you can see, the Pacers are allowing 70 most points to the power forward position all season long. But if you go and take a look at the last 7 games, and this is with Sabonis out, Miles Turner out, all those other things, they end up being the hardest team to face the last 7 games. They've really turned it around, and that's because of Sabonis and Turner being out. So that's huge. These guys are pretty damn good on defense is what it seems like. So this one's a really, really interesting one that looks really good. But if you take a look at how everything has been recently, it gets a lot tougher. So there's a lot of props that are doing this today. Not one I recommend taking right there, but it's definitely one worth looking into. It's just there's so many ones that are really tough to call today. So we got 4 more. But I like this one. This is probably one of my favorites coming up here. Yeah, the other 4 are pretty good. That was probably my least favorite, the one I just put out. So, but there's a lot of tough looking ones today. I'm gonna go with Robinson Earl under 7.5 points. This guy has been horrible. He's been shooting horrible lately. He's averaging 6 points in his last 5 games. He has 2, 12, 3, 9, and 4 in his last 5 games. So went over against Charlotte, went over against Dallas. Let's take a look at this game here. So OKC. It's 2-point spread, 217 over under. So center going against the Chicago Bulls. So let's take a look at this game here. Okay, so actually Vucevic is questionable, which could affect it a little bit. Actually, no, wait. I think I need to update this. Yeah, he is questionable. I was about to say. I was positive he was questionable. So now it's a 1.5 point spread, 217 over under. But yeah, center going against the Chicago Bulls. I'm not sure if that's going to change too much. We'll see. But center going against the Chicago Bulls. Let's take a look at this matchup here. And the Chicago Bulls are a little bit on the harder side right there. They're having 21.76. Pay attention to where they rank among other teams rather than just the number is what I like to usually say. Also, Always do your own research too. Don't go off of directly just what I say. Always do your own research, because I only usually take about 1 or 2 player props from the videos and put them into the Patreon, and it's my final entries for the day. So just saying, a lot of things change throughout the day, so definitely take a look at these before you guys go ahead and enter them. But Chicago Bulls here, definitely one of the harder matchups. But if Vucevic isn't playing, that could affect a lot in this game. So I'm not sure if this is one I want to go ahead and take, but he has been pretty horrible lately. He's 3 out of 10 in his last 10 games, 43% this season, and he's a heavy favorite to go ahead and hit this under today. So I'm liking that a lot, under 7.5 points, but Vucevic could definitely be affecting that a little bit, I'd say. Okay, let's take a look at a first half prop here for points, and then we'll move on to some other stats here. But NBA first half, let's take a look at Evan Mobley. So Evan Mobley, 7.5 points here. We take a look at this game here. So Evan Mobley. This is Rotowire NBA starting lineups, by the way. This is that website. And this website here is FanDuel Defenses, or not FanDuel, Fantasy Pros Defense versus Position. So that's what this one's called. That's what Rotowire is called. And this one we're going to be taking a look at. This is called Statmuse. So some great websites that I love to use. I put them in the description, by the way, just the name of them. But okay, so Evan Mobley, 7.5 points here. We want him on the over. So power forward going against the New York Knicks, 6.5 point spread, 202 over under. Shouldn't really matter too much. The over under, that was kind of something to kind of note. This could be a possible game for a lot of unders, especially with that over under being so low. These teams might not even break 100 apiece. So let's go ahead and take a look at power forward going against the New York Knicks. So New York Knicks to power forwards are a little bit on the harder side, actually. 20.10 is the number. Last 7 games, New York Knicks are still on the harder side, second least amount of points to the power forward position. So a lot of tough matchups today, it's looking like. But if you take a look at how Evan Mobley has been, he has been killing this. He is, I believe, 7 out of 10 in his last 10 games. I think that is 7 or 8 out of 10 in his last 10. I'm not going to go ahead and count them, but he needs 8. So he's hit there, miss there, hit, miss, hit. So I think that's 7 out of 10 in his last 10 games, and he hit all these too. He's went on a great run right there. But if you put in here versus NYK, he did hit the over last time. He had 12 points in 17 minutes, so he did fairly good against the New York Knicks the last time. I think he had like 26 points or something in that whole game. So he's definitely got a good shot to hit this over today in this game here. So, but I mean, their matchup has been really tough. It's a low over under. Just be aware of some of the things, man. So I'd say probably Robinson Earl is my favorite to go under, or so far. That's probably my favorite prop, I'd say. Let's take a look at another one here. We're going to take a look at a rebound one. That's Jonas Valentine, who they just took off the board. Oh, never mind. We're on first half. Never mind. Hopefully he's still on the board here. So, yeah, he's at 13 rebounds here. So, this one's interesting. It's another. We're targeting the Pacers again here. 11.4 in his last 5 games. That's what he's had for rebounds. He's had 10, 14, 5, 16, and 12. It's a pretty high number. So I usually don't like taking props. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone to take props with really high numbers or really low numbers, but that's kind of where I might step out of my comfort zone a little bit here and go with Robinson Earl and Valanciunas, but we'll see. 3-point spread, 215 over under. Nothing to really note right there. We'd like the spread for this game. So center going against the Indiana Pacers. Let's take a look at this. Center rebounds against the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are allowing for rebounds. We are on rebounds, right? Yeah. So a little bit right in the middle, 15.2, a little bit on the harder side, kind of right in the middle, right there for rebounds. If we take a look at the last 7 games, though, with all those new centers and power forwards they got right there, they're allowing the 4th most rebounds to the center position. This could be a really good spot for Valanciunas to hit this over. Plus, even with, I believe, Sabonis and Turner played in this game. Do not quote me on that whatsoever, because I'm not 100% sure at all. But back in their past matchup, he had 13. So he is 4 out of 10 in his last 10 games, which is something to definitely note. But he had 13 last time against a really tough Pacers team for rebounds. And now they have their backups in. So that's a really good spot, I'm thinking, for Valanciunas in this game. But again, I'm not 100% sure if Sabonis and Turner played in that game. So you have to double check that. I'm definitely going to double check that before I submit him, obviously, if I do end up playing him at the end of the day. All right, another one here. Final one. We got Devin Booker here. Devin Booker at 2.5 3-point makes. We're going to go ahead and take his under in today's game against Utah. This one's a really interesting one. I'll talk about this here, but 2.5 here. He's averaging 2.6 in his last 5 games. He's had 0, 1, 5, 1, and 6. So it's either he's booming or he's busting. That's what it really seems like here for Devin Booker. So He's hit this 5 out of his last 10 games. He's 0 for 4 in his last 4 games versus Utah. 0 for 4. He has not hit in his last 4 matchups versus Utah. So definitely something to note right there. He's 45% hitting this season, so it's kind of looking like a good under right here. But he has not played Utah this season. I believe those 4 games were all last season. So this game right here, though, 9 o'clock, 9-point spread, 221 over under. I'm liking this. We're hoping this game blows out. So something to note, though, Ayton and Crowder not playing. Is that going to affect Booker and his scoring? There's a good chance. So definitely something to note right there. Chris Paul rebounds could be pretty good too. That's what I was eyeing early this morning. I really do like Chris Paul rebounds with Ayton and Crowder out. It seems a little weird with him missing Crowder and Ayton, how that's going to affect the point guard rebounds, but it really, really does if you take a look at the game logs with Ayton and Crowder out. So, but just something to note there. You guys can look at that on your own. I'm not going to go all the way through that, but Booker here, shooting guard going against Utah. So we're hoping this game blows out. I've seen plenty of games where Devin Booker does not play the entire fourth quarter in blowout situations. So, okay, shooting guard going against the Utah Jazz, 221 over under. Let's take a look at this here. So shooting guard, 3-point makes versus Utah. So Utah is about right in the middle. 3.19 is the number. So that's something to note. But Utah here, a little bit on the easier side the last 7 games. So matchup is good for Booker to hit this. Ayton and Crowder out. There's a lot of good-looking props with touch matchups, or props are just all over the place today, man. I'm not liking today at all first look. Maybe it'll turn around. The last time I said that, like 2 days ago, it ended up being a pretty good day. We did hit on the Patreon, so that was pretty nice. But I think it's going to be another light day today. I'm probably just going to do like 1-2 pick power play. I'm just not seeing too much value on the board today. We'll see if that changes later in the day. I'm hoping this is. But, yeah, man. That's pretty much going to do for today's video. Appreciate you guys watching. Again, if you're new, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications. Those are the things that help me out, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.